All right, so you're crushing it. You got part one of the half moon lunge down. Now you have part two of the half moon lunge down when we're elongating the whole body and we're utilizing that knowledge of the fascial connections in the body to create more tension, more beneficial, advantageous tension in the area. And now we even brought in another topic, which we can do a whole series on, proper breathing. Diaphragmatic breathing, meaning I'm not breathing through my chest and facilitating that fight or flight sympathetic nervous system. I'm breathing slowly, controlled, in through my nose, and when I do so, that diaphragm's expanding. That abdominal wall is expanding, the diaphragm's dropping. And when I breathe out, again, controlled through my nose, the diaphragm's coming back up. That diaphragm has connections all throughout the body, that muscle. So when I go up and down, it's creating different tensions, different release, sometimes just through breathing, whether I'm hanging, or whether I'm doing this lunge, whether I'm in the last stage of this lunge, in the half moon portion, just from the diaphragm going up and down while you hold that pose, all of a sudden you can get some release. There's some cavitations there. It's very powerful. And you can do it as long as we're just mindfully doing what we're intending to do and we're aware of the body and all the ways we can make it work for us rather than against us. So part three, remember, get part one down. Get the proper lunge down first, the short foot activation. The knee, the shin, perpendicular to the ground, not going past the ankle joint, therefore staving off any unnecessarily wear and tear on the knee. This side, glute, firing back. I'm just not standing here in a stretch position, but it's firing back, releasing, relaxing the hip flex from the front side. Remember we did that. That was part one. Part two, I'm in here again. My arms are up. Remember, make sure your hips and your shoulders are parallel. So we bring this hip forward. Make sure it's parallel to the mirror in front of us. Tendency then the shoulder drop back. Make sure you adjust there too. I'm straight forward. Now I'm implementing the breathing techniques. Here's the last part for you. I'm going to back up a little bit just so you can see it. Here's the last part. Once we're here, everything is strength, stable, stability, balance is what we're getting right here. Last part of this half moon. Before I go there, as I exhale, I'm just going to go up. I'm going to go up like I'm elongating my spine, like I'm reaching towards the ceiling, not losing any other part of this. Reaching towards the, decompressing, reaching towards the ceiling, and here we go. Half moon. Now all of a sudden I'm going to start to bend. I'm going to keep my arms straight, and you can feel it. Once you start going here, there's a little release for myself. Once you start going to that side, you start to feel even more of that hip flexor firing, that hip flexor lengthening. You start to feel, if you grab that glute and you fire that glute, you feel more stability, more stability. If you get to the end of your half moon, whatever that is for you, everyone's different. Again, exercise that breathing. Diaphragm down with the inhale, abdominal expanding, diaphragm up with the exhale, abdominal wall then tightens up, collapses a little bit, little 360 of that core stabilization, and when we do that, we create different tensions. Once you're in this position, go ahead, go through the breathing, in and out, 2 or 3 reps, back to middle, and go ahead, switch it up. Switch it up, we're in that position again, arms up, same mental checklist I'm going through, and then we're reaching over to the side. Reaching over to the side while I'm driving that back, that right glute back. And I'm reaching, and there it goes again, a little release on one of my ribs on the right side, and it felt good, but everything's controlled. There's no spastic pushing into there. There's no lack of balance, strength, stability. If there is, go back to step one. Go back to step one, get it down. If even step one is a problem, double back to the short foot activation where we're learning how to drive this foot into the ground. Drive a foot into the ground. Grip the ground to a certain extent. Strengthening those intrinsic muscles of the feet. Essential for balance. You need to have that first. Flip side to that balance on this one is the glute. You got to make sure the glute, you're able to fire the glute. You don't know how to do that? Again, double back to some of the old ones, the quadruped cross crawl and things like that, where we learn how to fire the glute. The active bridge, another one where you can really get in touch with how to shoot from the brain to the glute to fire. You have those there. On strength, there's strength and stability now. Now I can compress. Now I can proceed. That's what you want to do. So make sure you got step 1 down before step 2, step 2 down before step 3, and then 3. When you're ready, you're confident, go for it and get the benefits. You'll get benefits from every single step. Essentially, we're countering that anterior dominance. We're countering that unnecessarily strain on the low back, and we're opening up those hip flexors. We do a psoas release in the office all the time. This is a DIY thing you could do to work either synergistically with that or keep yourself out of places like this. So get after it, and hopefully it helps. Any questions, comments, always bring them. But for now, get your half moon on. See you.